Good morning. Today is July 8th. I wanted to share with you guys, so I just watched a video by Tim Foster. He usually does some pretty good studies. Sometimes I can get what he's saying, and sometimes the stuff that he teaches just kind of goes over my head. But when I saw the video title of this video that he did, it struck me right away because of this dream I was given last August, after I had specifically asked the Lord to tell me something about the moon, because I remember I was sitting outside on my deck looking up at the stars at night, and I said, Lord, why do you give me and so many other Christians this dream about the rapture happens and there's two moons? Like, why is that? What does it mean? I just said, will you give me some more breadcrumbs to follow? And that night I had a dream, and I'm gonna play this clip from my video where I'm telling about the dream, and then after this clip I'm gonna play a clip from another video that I did talking a little bit more about it, and then I'm gonna play after that just a little clip of Tim Foster's video where he's talking about this whole idea of Jesus coming on the black moon. So I'll play these clips for you guys, and then I'll talk to you after that.
Scene switched to where we were looking up at the sky, and this is what we saw. Okay, so you guys know I can't draw, and apparently I can't even draw a circle. So, but this is what we saw. Now, usually in these dreams where I see two moons and I know the rapture is happening, usually it's always two full moons like this. Like two actual separate physical moons. In this dream, it felt more like, even though I saw the moons just exactly like this, how you see them here, this one was here and this one was here, it seemed as though these weren't two separate moons. It felt more like it was just showing me two different phases of the moon, but they were positioned like this. So I don't think there was two of them. It was just illustrating these different phases. So this one up here, I could tell that this was the moon. I could see the physical outline of the moon. I could see the detail of like the craters and everything, but it was completely dark. It was in a completely dark phase. There was no illumination to it whatsoever, but somehow I could still just see the outline of it.
And by the way, after that, the Lord gave me the word silhouette.
Now, being someone who the Lord gives a lot of dreams about the moon, I guess you would figure that I would have knowledge of all the different moon phases, but I don't. It just never really interested me. I don't really pay attention to the different moon phases. And to be honest, I never really even paid attention to whether or not you can even see the moon like this when it's completely dark. I don't think you can actually even see that, but I never really paid attention. So even though it was completely dark, I could tell that the moon was there. So it was the moon in a completely dark phase, and then down here I saw the moon completely full and lit up. And this is what I said in the dream. When we saw this, this is what I said. I said, the moon will be dark at midnight and bright at 1 o'clock. The bridegroom comes at the midnight hour. Okay, so I'll read that again. The moon will be dark at midnight and bright again an hour later at 1 o'clock. The bridegroom comes at the midnight hour. Okay, so I'm not going to put my own thoughts or interpretation behind that. I'm just telling you what I saw and what I said in the dream. And this is not something that I would say. But in the dream, when I said this, we just started celebrating and jumping up and down with excitement like children. And we were just like, oh my gosh, because we knew that this meant rapture and Jesus was coming. So we were just celebrating and joyful and excited. And like I said, we were just jumping up and down, just so excited. Like kids on Christmas morning.
Okay, so then I'm gonna play a clip from this video that I also did September of last year.
And this is the particular moon phase that the Lord is speaking to me about lately. And he gave me the word silhouette. So, I shared like a week or two ago that dream he gave me where it said, the moon will be dark at midnight and bright at 1 o'clock, and the bridegroom comes at the midnight hour. So if the moon is in the dark phase at midnight and the bridegroom comes at the midnight hour, and he's waking me up at rapture/flight time 7:37 a.m., telling me no moon with an exclamation point, he's telling me.
Just to explain that a little bit better, and I'm sorry if you can't hear it, I have the volume up all the way, but I had woken up from that dream about the black moon at 7:37 a.m. and I knew right away that that was God telling me something, because ever since I was first saved, he used to always give me that number. I would see it everywhere I went, 7:37 and 7:47, and I couldn't figure out why those numbers didn't mean anything to me. And as I was researching, like, why in the world would I be seeing 7:37 and 7:47 constantly? This went on for years. I want to say like 5 years. Well, come to find out that those are, flights, airplane flights. And the Bible talks about the rapture as our flight. So like Boeing 737 and Boeing 747. And I also had just mentioned here, I don't know if you could hear it, but sometime after this, I had a vision, and all I saw was like just a black background and words, and the words said no moon, exclamation point, no moon. So like when the moon is dark again. So back during this time last year, the Lord was giving me a lot of stuff about the dark phase of the moon. So just in case you couldn't hear that, I just wanted to explain that.
Me something about this time. So he didn't specifically.
Okay, and that's all I wanted to share of that one. And then I'm going to go ahead and play a few minutes of this video from Tim Foster's video. This is his channel name and the title of the video.
So, with that, guys, please download that if you have any questions. So let me jump back to my study about the black moon. So Psalm 81 is this joyous gathering at the black moon, the new moon. Sorry.
And notice he says he's putting a lot of emphasis on the fact that it's a joyous gathering. And that really struck me because, just like I said at the end of my video, at the end of my dream, when I saw that, like, we were literally joyously celebrating. I said we were jumping up and down like kids on Christmas. That's the only thing that I could think to relate it to, was like kids on Christmas morning. So I thought it was interesting when I was watching this, and he's talking about and emphasizing that it's a joyous celebration.
Or the day before the new moon. Okay. Now let's look at Proverbs 7. Proverbs 7. Now let's examine Proverbs 7. 19 to 20, the verses where the full moon reference is found, which we should be referencing as the fully concealed or covered moon, just like Psalm 81.
Okay, so sorry that I keep stopping this, but I just want to make sure that I cover everything and don't leave anything out. So he says that there's only 2 places in the Bible that specifically reference a fully concealed or covered moon, which is Psalm 81. And the second one is Proverbs 7:20. I just wanted to mention that I thought it was interesting because my birthday is 7/20. And you guys know, for years now, the Lord, everything he shows me about the rapture has to do with the moon. And now he's showing me stuff about the dark moon. I don't know, I just thought that was interesting that one of the only places in the Bible that it mentions this is Proverbs 7:20, and my birthday is 7/20.
Okay, so Proverbs 7 is written for my husband. That's the harlot speaking, the harlot church speaking. He is not at home. Okay, he has gone on a long journey. Jesus likened himself to the man who went on a long journey and took a bag of money. It's in Mark and Matt. It's like 3 different references to this. So Jesus is the man on a long journey, and he's going to come home. Well, he took a bag of money with him, and he's going to come home at the fully concealed moon or in the King James, the appointed day. So Proverbs 7:20 and Psalm 81:3 are the only references to this Kesa, this 3677, this fully concealed black moon, or the appointed day, as the King James calls it. So my conclusion here is that Jesus, the husband of the harlot church, will come home when the moon is fully concealed, or on the day before the new moon, known as the black moon. This would be the day. This would be the day before the new moon, which is referred to in 1 Samuel 20, the same day that Jonathan and David made a covenant. So I'm going to switch gears, and I want to go look at this other pattern we have in Scripture. Now, in 1 Samuel 20, the word Kesa, the H3677, this strangely somewhat undefined word that I'm saying, and that many other scholars say is a black moon or a full, it's not referenced in here, but the day is referenced indirectly because David and Jonathan meet on the day before the new moon. And we're going to go over this real quick. So let me go through and read my summary, my introduction. So 1 Samuel 20, David and Jonathan meet on the last day of the month, the day before the new moon. This is the day when the moon is fully covered in darkness, or it's the day of the black moon, which I've talked about here many times. This day appears to coincide with two other scriptures, Psalm 81:3 and Proverbs 7:20. These scriptures call for a festive gathering, which we see referred to in Isaiah 30, verse 29. I cannot help myself but go to Isaiah 30, because this is when we meet Jesus face to face. So when you get to Isaiah 30, I've talked about this many times, the people will be dwelling in Zion. That would be the heavenly Mount Zion. Okay? And it says, you shall have a song in the night when a holy feast is kept, the gladness of heart when one sets out at the sound of the flute to go to the mouth of the Lord, the rock of Israel. And then all hell's going to break loose when the Lord starts to speak again. The Lord will cause his majestic voice to be heard, and the descending blow of his arm to be seen in furious anger and a flame of devouring fire with a cloud burst of storm and hailstones. All hell is going to break loose when this occurs, guys. So you can see here, I think this is that holy feast that's referred to in Psalm 81:3. Okay. So the three references are 1 Samuel 20 for this black moon, Psalm 81:3 for this fully covered moon on our festive gathering day, and Proverbs 7:20, this fully concealed black moon, when the harlot church's husband comes home with a bag of money. And with that bag of money, what did Jesus say? He says, I come quickly and my reward is with me. Okay. So the question is, could this secret hidden day be the appointed day that Jesus returns for the harvesting bride to be taken and hidden for 3 days of training in the spiritual realm? We see this pattern in 1 Samuel, and I suggest take it to the Lord for confirmation and prayer. And here is my date setting line here, you guys. This is the next day.
Okay, I'm not going to go any further than that because, to be honest, I don't know if Jesus is coming this year, or I've even kind of personally felt it could be next year or the year after, but that's just me. I don't know. So I just wanted to share this with you guys and see what you guys think. Have you been shown anything similar to this, or just share your thoughts with me? When I had received that dream about the bridegroom comes at midnight when the moon is dark and all that kind of thing, it kind of spoke in a way of like a riddle, and I don't dream of things like that. I don't even think of things like that. So just the way it was presented to me and given to me, it was kind of like a parable or something, and I just know that that's how God speaks. So I know that that dream was from God and he's trying to show us something with it. And that's why I wanted to just revisit that and share it with you guys. And I was just so excited to see that Tim Foster was picking up on this too. So I'm like, I wonder if the Lord is, kind of refreshing our minds on this and just pointing us to it again for some reason. That's all I have to share for now. I really haven't received anything still yet, like no dreams, no visions, anything like that. Nothing prophetic anyway. Everything's just been of a personal nature. I've just been really busy with like family stuff and just enjoying the summer, so maybe my mind is just too busy or something still to receive very much. I don't know. But I've been taking time aside to make sure that I spend it with God and ask Him to show me anything I need to know, or anything He wants us to know, or anything to encourage us, or whatever, because just every day that goes by is even harder than the last one. So let me know your thoughts on this whole thing, and please feel free to share if you've received anything similar. Post any links to other videos covering this down below if you feel like it. And yeah, that's it. So I hope you guys are hanging in there, and I'll be back if He gives me anything else.